What's up, people? What's up, people? What's up, people? It is your boy MM2K of PNTS Network and StadiaDosage. We are back, my friends, with what's going to be a hell of a SSC podcast. All right. So what I want to do right now is I'm not going to get into too much babble. I brought the new guns with me. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of us old guns, we forget to take our Metamucil, or party socks are sagging. You know what I'm saying? The heat is really weighing down on us, right? So I had to bring some fresh, new Stadia soldiers, some Stadia warriors with me. All right. So we're gonna start off with the new guys. Some of the this is up and rising talent in Stadia. It's important. I've always said way back in the day, you know, as some of us in the older guard get more established, moved on, whatever, it's important for us to pass the baton. We've been trying to do that here at StadiaDosage, and we're glad to have him here today. I'm going to start with somebody that is familiar with the podcast recently, and that is my homie, Lo-Fi Moke. Lo-Fi, what's going on, good brother? How you been?
What's up, man? I've been good. Enjoying these games, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, that's dope, man. Glad to have you back from our summer hiatus. We're going to talk about what games you've been playing, man. But just overall, just real quick, let the people know what you've been up to. What's been going on the Lo-Fi Monk side?
Oh, man. Just gaming and doing Cloudy Thoughts, hanging out with my friends, just cracking up, cutting up, capping, you know how it goes. And dude, it's just, I don't know, man. It's been a really good time on my side. I tell you that. Excellent.
Well, like I said, man, we're glad to have you back. The floor is always yours, whatever you want to come back in more ways than one. We're going to talk about, they'll find out soon, Lo-Fi. I ain't going to say nothing else. But shout out to you, good brother. Thank you for coming through. All right. And next up, this is an OG. All right. What happened was I had my brother on in 2020, right? And he said, look, MM2K, man, look, I need the finest M&Ms, nothing but green peanut butter M&Ms. I need the finest goat milk. I need somebody rubbing my feet backstage if I'm coming on your show. And I tried to accommodate him, right? But I couldn't accommodate him, so he stopped coming to. No, I'm just messing with my brother. This is my brother from another mother. He is back. Yes, my homie Suit Alive, aka Bippity Bop. Bip, what's going on, brother?
Oh man, I'm doing great, and I've just been having a good time playing them games. I've been playing some what's that game called? NBA 2K. So yeah, okay. I've been having some fun with that. Yeah.
Cool. NBA 2K. Now, we didn't have it in the notes, but we can definitely talk about it. 2K23 doesn't seem like it's coming day and date, but you still optimistic that whole aspect with 2K is going to turn around in the future? What do you think about that?
Oh yeah, for sure. With expansion and the porting, I definitely think so. And I just been enjoying 2K21 on Stadia. So for me personally, I don't even buy them every year. But
yeah, facts.
I think it'll be all right. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, brother, it's good to have you back on the show, even though I couldn't find the finest goat milk for you and get somebody to rub you. No, I'm just joking. But it's good to have you back, man. Thank you so much for coming through. This is going to be a hell of a show. But I got one more. That's not it. When y'all thought it was going to be spectacular because of them two, I got one more. I got another new gun. I was about to say young gun. New gun. This brother's been tearing up the scenes. He's been doing some great commentary. I even had to hit him up on the bat phone like, yo, Primo, you doing the thing, man. You need to do this more often. He said, what? I said, yes, you got to do this more often. He said, okay, I will oblige. And now he has a great weekly podcast where he goes over Stadia content. It's one of my favorite pieces of content. You probably don't even know that I keep up with it every week. But this is my brother, Primo Yannick. Primo, how are you doing today, man? Good to see you.
I'm good, man. I'm good. Thank you. Now I know. Now I'm really nervous when I do those shows. Got the great MM2K watching over me. Nice. It's funny you mentioned that show because I ran into that the PC World article on the last one.
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised that somebody can actually put up pros and cons without dumping all over everything. That was
Ain't it a beautiful thing when they can do that? Yeah. They can not pour Kool-Aid all over your steak, and ruin the whole meal. It's a beautiful thing, man. Absolutely. Well, Primo, I'm happy to have you here, brother. These are the new guns. We're going to have more of them on here. This is what the community's about, man. It's about camaraderie, growth, love, and that community. And all these brothers represented, and we've tried to bring more people that represent it as well. And we're going to continue to do that. All right. So I'm more than ecstatic to have these individuals on this podcast. It's going to be a hell of a show. Hit that like button. hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, because if you haven't hit the subscribe button, then you ain't gonna get none of these damn gifts. All right, and hit that bell for notifications so you know when we go live. All right. Now, what gifts am I talking about? I'm gonna say this real quick, and then we're gonna get into what games we've been playing. I'm gonna pay some bills, and we're gonna get right into the show. But for the entire month of July, it is Giftapalooza here at Stadia Dosage. If you don't know what Giftapalooza is, that means that every live show on this channel, we're giving away a gift credit or gift card or whatever you want to call it, of the equivalent of at least $25 USD. So if you want an opportunity to win, you have to subscribe to this channel, and you'll be and then you got to be active in the chat, and then we'll tell you what the secret word is to participate in the chat and all that good stuff. All right, but again, at least $25 in Google gift credit will be awarded to the winner of each live show. That's this show, SLS featuring MM2K. That's the fantastic show with my homie Squids. That is Chill Times with Squid, and any other live show that we have this month. All right, we might have some more surprises for you. Wink, wink. All right. With that being said, I'm going to turn it over now to our special panel. Lo-Fi, I'm going to start with you, brother. What have you been playing all week?
Centipede and Roguebook.
Woo. Okay. Talk to us a little bit about it. What are your thoughts on those games, man?
So I was excited about Centipede because I love the arcade, man. I got an arcade machine at my house that I play on. I play Centipede, Galaga, all that type of stuff all the time. So like when that was coming, I was like, dude, I can't wait for that leaderboard, and dude, it was just like I thought, man. Names were going back and forth all day that first day, and man, it went crazy. Shout out to Perp with their number one score.
Yeah.
Man.
Yep.
Like 90,000 points above second place. Like
crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, she took our heads.
Perp, I'm watching you with the super glitch. I used to have a friend that used to kick my ass in Madden all the time. And I used to tell him that he knew about the super glitch. He's like, what the hell is the super glitch? It was just something I made up to make me feel good to explain while I was losing. But shout out to Perp. Shout out to Perp with the super glitch, man. She out here killing it. What did she tell Storm? Hey, Storm, I'm sorry, brother. You know I love you. But, man, Storm came out there. You know how Storm is cool as can be, man. Cool composures can be. He said, yeah, I see Perp coming from my neck. And Perp said, what did she say? She said, I ain't got to come for your neck when I already got it in my hands. I said, oh, my God. I told my wife to lock the doors and close the windows. I was afraid. Oh, my God. Woo. Yeah, Perp, I'm watching you. I'm watching you, Perp. You something else. But shout out to Perp. Well, he's another up and rising star in this community, man. But I'm sorry, Lo-Fi. I just had to bring that up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No, man, but shout out to her, man. Good job. I challenge all y'all to try. Just try to take that. But
absolutely.
Yeah, as far as Roguebook, I don't even play those type of games, dude. I'm not really into those card games or anything. But I do like rogue games. So I was like, I'm gonna check this out. Mm-hmm. And dude, instantly hooked. And then I found out that the dude that created Magic the Gathering actually helped the developers create that game. And of course, Squid's been ragging on me all week because I didn't know about that. He says that's the only reason he said that's the only reason he needed to play that game. He heard that and he was
yeah. Definitely dope. Definitely fire. All right, brother. Well, that's some good stuff, man. And those are two games that shame on me I haven't even touched yet. I got it, but I'm gonna stop fraud. I'm gonna get into them, man. Definitely. All right. The homie Bippity, soon alive. Let me stop. I'm too nostalgic. I gotta be respectful. Call you by your new moniker, man. Soon alive. Sooner. What's going on, brother? What have you been playing this week?
Oh man, so I haven't played much, but I have been playing some NBA 2K21. I've been playing some PUBG and some Rainbow Six Siege. So I've been out here kicking butt, taking names, you know what I'm saying? And it's been good. Awesome.
Now, Bip, we were talking about this earlier a little bit about our Division 2 days. Have you been getting into Division 2 recently, or you haven't touched it really recently?
No, Honestly, I'm just waiting for Heartlands because
I got you.
I don't know. I'm just waiting for that PvP kind of environment, you know. So
got you. Well, Bip, I'm gonna say this: if you can find the time, my brother. Remember how much fun we used to have back in the day playing that game because it was so good?
It is a good game, yeah.
Actually, it's even better now. That's all I'm gonna say. It's better than what it was then. Yeah, so you definitely wanna. You might not want to skip out. I mean, just the way that it played, the mechanics, and it's just crazy, man. So yeah, don't just dabble in it just a little bit more, just so you can see everything that's going on now. It'll astound you too, because you'll be like, damn, this was a good game when it originally came out the oven, but golly, all the stuff that they've added to it since is crazy. So that's my suggestion.
Okay.
All right.
Keep that in mind.
Well, with that said, we're going to get on to our good friend Primo. Yannick, Primo, what have you been playing this week, man?
So, some of you guys know I do the pro games at the beginning. I get an early access because it's 9 p.m. for me when they come out. So I usually stream it the minute it comes out. So I streamed all of them. I like them. I liked all of them. But I've been rage quitting this entire week. Every game that I jump into. So Worms, I rage quit because I kept killing myself. Centipede, man. I saw,
same here.
Yeah, I saw Purple Score, and I'm like, I gotta beat that. I didn't even touch it, and I rage quit. and then for those of you guys who don't know, I have a Spanish channel, and what was it?
Yes.
Tuesday I had what is that? Assassin's Creed 3. Man, I almost broke both monitors and my controller trying to get past this one mission, but it's been fun. It's been fun. I guess if the blood doesn't boil up, I'm not having fun. So yeah, those are the games I've been kind of playing here and there. I've been having some issues with my internet. Obviously, the fact that I'm 2,000 miles away from the nearest servers doesn't help. But I've been trying to jump in some of the games people are streaming, like Jeff and them. So that's always fun.
Cool. Excellent stuff, man. Now,
we might have a new community game too with that Fast and the Furious. It's got multiplayer on it.
Oh,
I got
for
to
real?
play earlier on. Yeah, so there might be something there because it's kind of like a Mario Kart vibe.
Yeah, it seems fun with multiple people. Like if we can get some Cowboy to start something up, keeps talking about it, but hasn't done anything yet. So
that's his favorite game, right? Isn't that the game that he said was his favorite title?
Yeah. It's pretty nice. I like it.
Yeah.
It is nice. Yeah.
Oh no, go ahead, student. What were you gonna say about that?
Oh yeah, no, like that game was probably my least favorite pro game, and then when I tried it, I was like, yo, I actually like this a lot. So yeah, Cowboy, definitely get on that. I think that'd be a lot of fun, and yeah.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, let's get this SBC community game going. Let's do it. We got to do it. Shout out to this strange fella in our chat, Mr. Jack the Slip. Shout out to you, Jack. He says Primo had a bunch of good suggestions on the StadiaDosage Stadia wishlist page. Yes, and that's actually part of our notes, Jack. I stole something from you. So we're going to be talking about that later in the show and going over that wish list. That's pretty dope. And I did notice Primo had some great stuff out there, so that's cool. We're going to talk about that. Speaking of paying bills or giving the flowers out like we tend to do here, I want to do something new. So I wasn't prepared. Shocker. But I gotta find this one. We're gonna do something new. I'm gonna try to do it week to week. Let's see if I can find the page that I'm looking for. Hold on. And then I gotta be a good host, and I gotta make sure that you guys can see it too. Hold on, give me 1 second, y'all. Okay, it looks like I'm not gonna find it. Gosh darn it. All right, but I was looking for Papa Beer Gaming. Does anybody have a link to Papa Beer Gaming's? Oh no, I got it right here.
Yeah,
duh.
Okay.
All right, you know how we do. Let me show you something.
You killed that last stream, huh?
Papa Beer Gaming. Say that again, Primo. What was that?
He killed that last stream.
He murdered it. He had white chalk all over the place. Papa Beer Gaming. This is why I say to my other Stadia content creators, if you're on vacation, if y'all moved on to the Game Gear or Xbox or whatever the hell y'all done moved on to, whatever the case may be, shine the light on the up and coming content creators. Papa Beer Gaming stream, what was it, yesterday, of Five Nights at Freddy's, had me changing my trousers multiple times. It was the scariest stream ever. I would put it up on the screen, but I don't want any strikes or anything like that. You gotta go check him out. Papa Beer Gaming is another up-and-coming star in the Stadia community. He got some of the greatest streams out there. He got a nice, soothing voice, and I just love it when he gets himself in a fickle.
Are you talking about Idris?
Is that? Oh, you call him Idris?
That's Idris. Yeah,
Idris Elba. Yeah. Oh, they got a nickname for him already. He does have that Idris Elba voice. Yeah.
Before the face reveal, dude, we swore.
That was
man. Oh, for the face, yeah. Most soothing voice. And I'm not going to swear on the show, but when he swears, it's like very comical to me because it's like oh shh, it's like just so calm. Just imagine listening to Masterpiece Theater and somebody just I didn't hit the right chord. Oh shh, you know what I mean? But it's great. It's great stuff. You got to listen to it. I love it. Papa Beer Gaming, shout out to you. You've been doing great content and kudos to you, man. So I wanted to do that.
I love him.
Let's do this as well. Let's talk about the wiki. There's upcoming games. All right, we got some upcoming games coming to the platform. Jack added some new games too, right? What was that new game, Jack? If you're still in the chat, I can't remember. But we got some anticipated games still released for this year. Realm Legends, Talking Dogs is 2023. Realm Legends is 2024. But for 2022, we still got Avatar Frontiers, Battle Billiards, Breakout Recharge, Fire Commander, Mighty Switch Force Collection, Thread of Revelations, and Skull and Bones. We found out today that Skull and Bones, there you go, Skull and Bones right here, has been announced for November 8th, 2022. Actually, if we look at all of them, let's see here. 7:15 is DC League of Super Pets. 9:30 is Paw Patrol. LLL Surprise BB Born to Travel. Figment 2 is October 15th. The 28th is Resident Evil Reverse with that fire Resident Evil pack. Star Trek Prodigy Supernova. That looks dope. I might hop into that again, Skull and Bones. And then Sky Climbers Early Access, November 22nd. And then going into 2023, we got Talking Dogs. So really some great stuff coming on the platform there. Let's also take a look at the pro games list real quick. Let's see here. These are all the pro games that we've gotten for 2022, it looks like, or no, these are just all of them all together. Okay. I thought it would break it down per year, but here is a year breakdown that I wanted to show everybody. So again, I know that everybody, hold on one second, because my wife doesn't know how to talk with her inside voice. Hold on.
Oh, he's gonna be in the doghouse later.
All right, people, here I come. Okay, all right. Now,
somebody send her the link.
Why she's up here. Anywho, let's see here. 2022, we have 38 games in 2022. Oh my God, there's only 38 games. Stadia will never make it to 100. No, right? But if we go to 2020, right around this same time, Around this time, how many games did we have? We had 35.
Yeah, I remember
35
that.
games. Or really 36.
I'm telling you, this pro drop for this month really got me with some high expectations for next month. You know, especially with all these games that I know are coming. It's like, man.
Yep. Yeah, so I get it. There's a lot of new people here. Lo-fi, I get it. You know, they may not be aware of this, but all you gotta do is go look. 2020, we had the same thing happening. Stadia put out, I don't know the math, maybe 4 or 5 games out a week, and they ended up with 108 games. Yeah. So, let's
lying
just
too, y'all. I mean, who like me? I've been around since 2019 December, I remember like the community was going crazy.
Well, oh man,
2020, they were like, "Oh my God, Cyberpunk ain't coming." Oh man,
same story, huh?
Yeah.
Man.
Yep.
Might have
It's just
been
history
worse,
repeating
actually.
itself.
Yep.
I wonder if whoever tracks this, if they can do like a monthly game release to see which months the most drops.
That would be interesting.
With 3 years in the books, I think we'd be able to find when the big drops are going to be, because we started off with 3-4 games for Pro, and now the last few months has been 6-7.
Yep.
Right.
I can already tell you it's gonna be November.
Or really,
November,
I think
December.
in 2020, if you use 2020 as a litmus, because here's what happened. And I'm not saying that I'm saying this with 100% certainty, but I just have a feeling. Follow me. In 2020, what happened was there were a bunch of delays. That's why it was so light in the front end. A lot of people didn't realize that. They weren't thinking about that. Cyberpunk, remember, was supposed to launch at early 2020, got delayed to the end of the year. Marvels was supposed to launch early 2020, got delayed in the end of the year. There were even talks that Uplay Plus at the time, which is now Ubisoft Plus, was supposed to launch at the beginning of 2020. That got delayed to the end of the year. If all that happened at the beginning of the year when it was supposed to, we'd be having different conversations, at least for 2020. You know what I mean? So that's what happened in 2020. You might be dealing with that again in 2022 because of what? The load change porting. We've heard from the Sky Climbers developer. They said, look, we were thinking about giving you this early access earlier in the year, but then we realized there's this load change porting. So why would we waste 7 months of manual programming when we can just wait till the end of the year and give it to you via the load change porting? Use that 7 months for other more critical stuff. You know what I mean? And it makes sense. We just got to realize that all these developers, they got to keep the lights on. Their number one job isn't worrying about Stadia's pipeline, if Stadia's pipeline is balanced. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they're going to do what makes sense, you know? So,
yeah, and I follow their Twitter, so they're always posting updates, and that game's come a long way.
Exactly.
A whole long way since the Kickstarter, so.
Exactly. So, again, we're seeing in my eyes a replica of 2020. 2020 suffered with delays. 2022 reasonably is suffering from delays too, from all accounts. So it's fathomable to believe that if it's delay based, that what you're going to see is on the back end, you're going to see more games coming out, and they'll likely reach that. I'm still confident they'll reach the 100 games, but we'll see. We'll see, you know. But it's not impossible. It's definitely not impossible. All right. And I think that is it for all the preliminary. Oh yeah, and again, we did talk about Game-a-Palooza or Gift-a-Palooza all month of July. If you watch a live show, you'll have a chance to win a gift. All right. With that said, let's get into today's topics. All right. First, I want to talk about, I guess we could call it breaking news, but it's not so much breaking news, but it's news that we really didn't have planned in the original show, but holy cow, Stadia kind of dropped a bomb on us early this morning. And then we got a showcase that another Ubisoft game is coming. So it's just doubling down on the Ubisoft support on Stadia and why it's so important and why it shouldn't be overlooked. Let me show you something. This is a website from the aforementioned StadiaDosage.com, and it says Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon out on Stadia. Great news, it reads, Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon is launched on Stadia. It appears to go on sale midnight local time on July 7th in your local time zone, which has passed in Europe. Thanks again to our friend of the website, 4 Scars Gaming, for the tip. This marks the 280th game to be released on Stadia platform by our count. All right, with that said, I'm going to start with Primo on this one. So, before I go to you, Primo, let me just detail what's going on here with Far Cry. Game was stealth released last night. Game was originally mentioned in 2021 as coming to the platform, but you can get it either for $14.99 USD or via the Ubisoft Plus subscription, which I have. Those are two ways you can get it. So I'm going to start with you, Primo. Have you had a chance to play this game? I'm on Stadia.
Oh, I
yet?
haven't. I haven't.
Okay,
so when I jumped on Stadia, that was my first real platform that I was playing on.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even aware of Far Cry until I started playing 5, and then I got moved on. Then I got the free play days gave me Far Cry 6. I bought Primal, and then now this one's popping up, and it's like, come on, man, I'm running out of money. So I'm gonna buy it, but the cheap guy that I am, I always wait for it to be on sale.
I got you.
I didn't realize that Far Cry 6, there was like I guess a season pass or something includes it.
Mm-hmm.
I might try to double dip and wait for Far Cry 6 to drop again. It just literally left from sale.
If you get the season pass for Far Cry 6, it includes Blood Dragon. So it was already on Far Cry 6 as a DLC.
Oh, was it? Oh, I didn't even know that. Oh, word. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna wait for the price to drop and get it. Pick up both 6 and 3.
Well, let me ask y'all this.
So you would have to play it in Far Cry 6 before, but now it's an actual they just included Squids already had the season pass,
okay,
so they automatically gave him that. Yeah.
Oh, I get it. Okay. All right, I got you. Let me ask y'all this then. Let me put it to y'all like this. Because I can't remember the last time I bought an Ubisoft game because I have Ubisoft Plus. I have it on PC and I have it on cloud. I don't know who else fits into that category, but I mean, if it's $14.99. Well, no, it's going to be $17.99 if you didn't already get it and get grandfathered into the cloud thing. But I mean, do you guys think that's a fair price to get day one access to not only the Ubisoft games, but all of the gold edition content?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah. I mean, Primo, I mean, is that, I mean, I get it. If it's a little too rich for your blood, then, I could dig it.
Not for me. And the biggest reason is that I know I can't play them on computer anyways.
I got you.
If it's not on Stadia, I'm probably not going to play it. And if you look at how many are on Stadia, if I do the math, if I do, let's say a year subscription, that's, more than 12 games because I'm averaging like $10, $15 per game. So it's if it was $10 a month, it would make sense.
That's true.
Yeah,
what I pay
smart
for.
Man. Yeah.
But yeah, I think anybody who's only in clouds, in the cloud, I'm sorry, would doesn't make as much sense as if somebody who has a rig that can, play all the other ones that aren't available.
Yeah,
right.
No, that's right. That's right. You see, I'm grandfather. See, I'm like Suna. You know what I'm saying? I should be Tuna. You know what I mean? Because I'm grandfathered in the Luna. You know what I mean? So I can play. I can play it on Luna if it ain't 60 frames per second on Stadia. I don't complain anymore. I just go to Luna and play it. You know what I mean? But no, Primo, what you're saying makes 1,000% sense. And as someone who crunches math to keep my lights on, I should have done that as well and said, it doesn't really, it's kind of a hard sell unless you have multiple ways to play it, so I can dig it. Has anybody played it though? Has anybody played it on Stadia?
No.
It just came out for most people.
What are you talking about? Blood Dragon?
Blood Dragon, yeah.
Yeah, it looks beautiful though. It's a remake.
So I played it, and I am impressed. I'm not going to say. Here's what I will say about the game. The reason why I'm not. It's not the best looking port, because the game is old. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's not a new game, so it's not.
Oh, I thought it was a remake.
I don't think it's a remake. I don't know, Lo-Fi. You could be right, and they could have up-res some things or whatever. But it's still, it looks kind of dated, but it's not horrible. It doesn't look bad. But I'm waiting for, shout out to Original Penguin. I'm waiting for Original Penguin to drop his resolution scale. I think that performance mode is 1440p, not quite 60 frames per second, but 50. And people may hear that and they may say, oh, well, that sucks. It's not 60. See, Stadia, you're trash. But here's the thing to remember. Ubisoft has been having problems getting 60 frames per second on the Denia engine. They just started getting it with Far Cry Primal. So now you got Far Cry Blood Dragon that's also hovering around 50, maybe a little bit above. It's smooth. It's a smooth 50. At first, it gave me like some frame skips at first, and I was like, "Ooh, my eyes!" But then after a while, that went away. You know what I mean?
So are they just having problems on the cloud, or is that just across all platforms?
I think no. It's. I think Dania. No one's ever specified, but the only thing I can guess is it's the Dania engine and Stadia. It's a Dania engine Stadia thing. The newer version of Dania, they're able to hit 60 like that. I think of Assassin's Creed Valhalla is the newer version of Dania, and so is Phoenix Immortal Rising. Those can hit 60 no problem. But it's the games that are built on the older version of Dania where it seems like they're having problems getting 60, but they've been doing a great job. They did a good job with Far Cry Primal, and I think they've done an even better job with Blood Dragon. So I'm impressed based upon that.
Yeah, and like
nice.
I mean, like that makes a lot of sense with the older games, because Stadia has came out and said that
yes,
like older games are harder to get on the platform. Now with the low change porting, we don't know exactly. We just don't know enough about that. But yeah, they have said that before. So yeah, I mean that does make a lot of sense.
Yep. All right, so let's do this right now. We got a good squad up in here, about 32 people watching. Hit that like button, man, and I'll put a trivia question out there in a little bit. But we're going to start the giveaway. And again, this is for Google gift credit for at least $25 or more. I'm not going to end it right now. You're going to have to stay tuned to the whole show, but we're going to give away. Hold on, let me switch this. Ooh. Let me make sure that I got this on.
Do we qualify? Does the panel qualify?
Unfortunately not. But I can buy you guys a pack of Twizzlers, man. That's I got a little bit in my pocket. You know what I'm saying?
with today's inflation, that's about right.
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
$35 Twizzlers. Yeah, I mean. But yeah, we're going to. Hey, man. Or we could all just be smart like Primo and be like, hey, look, man, just crunch them numbers and say, hey, does this make sense to get in this subscription or get that subscription? You know what I mean? So a little bit extra money in the pocket.
Hold on, let me switch YouTube accounts.
I can dig it. All right, so we're going to start the giveaway button right now. As y'all all know, when you see the giveaway has started, indication in the chat, you hit ! Raffle. All right, so hopefully it's gonna work. Let's see. There it goes, baby. You gotta be a subscriber. So if you're not a subscriber, I'm sorry, man. Can't participate. All right. So with that said, we got that all rocking and rolling. Let's get back to our show. Okay. So I played it. I'm impressed with it. But let me ask the panel. I'll start with you still, Primo. Ubisoft seems to be getting better frame action out of the Dania engine, as I said earlier. Is it important to you that all Ubisoft games are on par with the platform's top performance? Like, and let me explain this one. A lot of people are upset that all Ubisoft games aren't 4K 60, like, you know what I'm saying, like Far Cry 6 and all that other stuff. And they're like, if this is going to be the AAA developer that supports you the most, they need to be at the top level, you know, with all their games. Do you agree with that? Do you think it's important for them to do that, or are you patient enough to wait and see if they can continue to build to get better performance?
I think for people that have been playing games for a long time, that might be important. For me, because I'm so new and because so the thing with me about 30, 60, and 120, I understand the technical side of it. I understand that for shooters, high frame rate is better. So, you know, you obviously want to have, you know, the advantage, especially if you're playing with real players. But for me, I prefer 30 frames because 60 doesn't seem natural to me. And that's the whole reason why, if you look at a movie, they're 24 frames, not 60 or 120, because it's more natural to the eyes. And so when I play on 60 or higher, which I haven't played higher than 60 because of my monitor, but it feels unnatural, and if it sometimes makes me I'm more susceptible to get dizzy because of the smoothness, and then sometimes the added. So when you're playing at 60, they have to add motion blur if they want that natural look. That's why sometimes you get that option to remove motion blur or to add motion blur. So 60 with motion blur makes me dizzy. 60 without motion blur is okay, but I prefer 30. So for me, understanding the technical side, I still prefer 30. Really 24 if I could, because that's just more natural. It makes it seem more cinematic. I think if you look at a lot of the cinematics on games, they drop down the frames so that it feels more natural and more like a movie. And then once the game kicks in, you can tell the difference where it switches from, 24 to or 30 to 60 or higher. Does that make sense?
You can actually look up 3D tests where they have the frame rates side right next to each other while they're animating different things. And you can really start to tell the difference. Like when you're looking from 8 frames to 12 frames to 24, up. It really helps you understand what's really going on.
Yeah.
But so I've heard people in the community that have problems watching stuff at 30 because it creates what they call a motion bloom or something like that with their eyesight.
Yeah, I don't know about it. I prefer 30. It just feels more natural to me. Even when I watch movies, like TVs and shows and movies, with those 120 TVs, I can't do it. It just feels like it almost feels like a soap opera rather than a movie.
I see what you're saying.
It's just too smooth. It's the difference between a cinematic of movie on reels. You know what I'm talking about? Film, right?
Yep.
For you youngsters.
Yeah. Or looking through a security camera.
And looking through the camcorders.
Yeah.
That's the difference for me. And I prefer the cinematic look.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, and I wish Project Storm, where are you at? Bring your butt out here. Me and Storm used to debate this all the time because shout out to our homegirl Snow Bunny Gaming. She's our Nintendo person over at PNTS Network. She said, look, I can't do first-person shooters, and she said she can't do 60 frames per second because it messes with her eyes. So Storm was like, okay, you're the exception. He said, but should nobody want 30 frames per second? I said, Storm, that's not the case, bro. There's a lot of people that think 60 frames per second is weird. Now, I'm on the opposite end of that spectrum. I need 60 because I have horrible eyesight. I really do. And in 30 frames, because I work in front of computers all day, multiple screens, it made my eyesight even worse. So when I'm playing games now I can watch TV at 30, but for some reason when I'm doing interactive gaming or whatever at anything less than, I want to say maybe 50 or 45, my eyes start to hurt. You know what I'm saying? That's me.
Just to answer Tommy Rocks, or just to make a comment about Tommy Rocks, 30 also gives about double the input lag of 60. Movies and games are far from the same. So the feel of we're looking at a game and looking at a movie, it's going to feel different from the frame rate. I mean, even if your eye doesn't catch it, it's going to feel different. So if I was playing PUBG or Warzone, then I would prefer 60 or higher. That's why some of the professional gamers, they're running at 300 plus because the way that the actions are executed on tick, which tick means frame. So the higher the frame rate, you're able to drop more rounds in a shorter amount of time than at 30 frames. So you're right. What I'm talking about is how it feels to me. I prefer looking at 30 frames than 60. Unless I'm playing a first-person shooter, and if I do it at 30, I know I'm at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about that, Tommy. Tommy says 98%. I don't know if it's that high. It depends. A lot of people don't even know I would say 98% of gamers don't know what 60 frames per second is. They don't. They may have heard about it. A lot of them don't even have the displays to even do it. That's another thing we got to remember. We're hearing about all these bells and whistles, and a lot of people don't even have the displays to even do it. A lot of people buy, even if they have 4K TVs panel, they're buying cheap ones that just max out at 30 hertz. You know what I mean? So
I think you can do an entire podcast about the meaning of gamers.
Yeah.
Because when you say 98% of gamers, so gamers is real heavy.
Yeah.
You have to specify professional
you got to specify. Yeah. Hardcore gamers,
casual
yes.
gamers, mobile gamers.
Yep.
It's a big word.
Perfect. I like how you put that.
Mr. MCG says something about Far Cry 3. Is he talking about Blood Dragon, or am I missing something? Is Far Cry 3 available?
No, I mean they consider Blood Dragon. The title of it is because it's an offshoot of Far Cry 3. It's the Far Cry 3 map with just different aesthetics. It's what Far Cry Primal is to Far Cry 4, because that's all Far Cry Primal is just a reskin of Far Cry 4.
It's like Far Cry. Okay. Far Cry 5 and New Dawn, they're the same.
Dude,
exactly.
Dude, Far Cry 3 with Boss, that's like my favorite.
Yeah. Oh, if they could get Far Cry 3, that's still my favorite. Yeah, that's still my favorite. And a second, a close second is Far Cry 5. But if they could get Far Cry 3 on Stadia at 60 frames per second, my God. I'm happy. So Mr. McG, he clarified. I'm talking about Blood Dragon. Yeah, I'm with Primo on that one. I agree with Primo to where I think what Tommy is saying relates to hardcore gamers. If you're a hardcore gamer or a core gamer, you know what I'm saying, and maybe 98% of them.
He's not wrong. I'm just saying I prefer 30 frames.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think there's a lot of games. I've heard a lot of people see me play at 60 frames per second that play games, and they didn't say that was dope. They said, "Ooh, that looks weird." You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, that's because the frame rate is faster. And they're like, "Oh, I don't like that." I've had plenty of people say that to me. I'm like, well, I'm like Tom, like, well, screw you. You're not a real gamer. 98% of us, no. But
I know what it means though, because like if you're playing if you're not used to playing on a bigger screen and you go play on a bigger screen, it has this weird feeling of like the broom just moved. Yeah. If you're not, you know what I mean? If you're set at just the right angle, so I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's definitely catered to taste, but I would agree, like depending upon the type of gamers that you're talking about. 90% of like hardcore gamers, yeah, definitely. They want more frames. Absolutely. All right. Great stuff, man. So let me ask this. Also, what I want to put up here is, let me go back, because I think we got this. They're killing it on the StadiaDosage website. Let's go back home. Let's see if they got it up yet. Here it goes. Skull and Bones is now available for pre-order on Stadia. So let me ask the panel this. Oh, no. I forgot my brother Suna. Let me ask you, Suna. What do you think about the whole 60 and 30 frames per second debate? Do you think that because Ubisoft is Stadia's biggest supporters, that it's imperative for them to have games at 60 frames per second now, or are you willing to see the progression? What are your thoughts?
Me personally, I do want 60 FPS, but so like if I really want it bad enough, I will go somewhere else and play it, like Luna or like GFN or something like that. But at the same time, I also understand like the whole technical aspect of it, like a lot of people forget, like games on Stadia, for them to hit 60 FPS for us, they have to be running at 120 at the data center. So like it's like, imagine trying to develop a game and then optimize it at like 120 frames, and then by the time it gets to us, like it's 60. Like that's insane. So
that might be why they're looking at the NVIDIA chips, though.
Yeah,
exactly. So they can try to maintain the stream or whatever, because GFN has like 120 streams. So Stadia can figure out how to do that.
You can't deny NVIDIA's hardware. You know, they do good at what they do.
Yeah. So like me personally, like I need the 60, but I'll still play some games at 30, but it doesn't bother me too much, but I do prefer 60.
Okay. Yeah, I can't do 30 right now, except for, you know who the masters at 30 frames per second are? Freaking Sony. Jesus Christ. Man, it pays to be an entertainment company. Their 30 feels so smooth. That's the only place I can play 30 frames per second at. It's Sony with no problem. No problem. They're mass. I don't know what they do, but again, they're Sony. They make movies, and their hands are in the cookie jar everywhere, so they know how to make that smooth. But anywhere else, and that's why when people were like, "Oh, Sony's targeting 30 for certain games," that's bull crap because nobody. Well, you just heard what Primo said. A lot of people like that cinematic presentation. I've told you, I've hooked up my rig and did 60 to 100 frames on it, and people came in and looked and said, "What the hell are you playing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm playing BioShock Infinite at 115 frames per second." That looks weird, son. Like they're like, "No, I can't do that, son. That looks weird." I'm like, "For real?" Like, yeah. I'm like, "Oh, okay." So it's all about the person, but Sony's real good at that. But yeah, I for games that are on Stadia, I particularly I'm part of that 60 frames per second crowd, but I understand why they're not there. They're not there simply because the hardware isn't there. It's a development thing. You know what I mean? We talked about this 1,000 times. If the developers aren't willing to optimize what you have, then it don't matter what hardware you put in there. You know what I'm saying? And the testament to that was the Xbox One X. Most powerful console in the world. And then it was all of its, betterment than games on the PlayStation 4 Pro were marginal. Why? Because people didn't want to crap where they ate. They didn't want to make Xbox games look too much better than PlayStation 4 games because PlayStation 4 is where they got most of their money. So all of the upgrades that the Xbox One X had, and trust me, I had both, were marginal. Very marginal. They weren't that big. They're a little shinier resolution here and there. But it wasn't until the PlayStation 4 came out, the Slim came out with God of War, and it looked better than anything on the Xbox One X that people go, "Oh my God. Yeah, the Xbox One X is trash." It's not trash. It's just people weren't developing for it until Red Dead 2 came out. Then Red Dead 2 showed you. But by then the damage was already done. It was a year later. You know what I mean? So it's not just a simple hardware thing. There's so many revolving doors in this. So I get all sides. I get where people want the performance now, but I understand why we don't have it across the board now. Cool stuff.
That's a lot of programming too. That is a ridiculous amount of time.
Yeah. And developers they're going to be less likely to do it for a 1% business. You know what I mean? Like I tell people all the time, if the porting process for GFN and xCloud were the same as Stadia, you wouldn't be seeing there would be no 3080 tier. There would be none at all. Absolutely not. You know what I mean? So with that said, next question is Skull and Bones. Now you can pre-order it on Stadia. Hold on 1 second. Okay.
Can you
pre-order? Had to let my wife know that everybody doesn't want to hear her story about her gyro sandwich today live on air. Okay.
I hear it. Sounds good.
That does sound good.
It was a good sandwich. It was a good. I took a bite out of it when she wasn't paying attention. It was a good ass sandwich, but still. Everybody, we're talking games here, sweetie. We got bigger fish to fry. All right. So, yeah, man. I mean, you got Skull and Bones coming day and date. Pre-orders are up already. Did anybody see that presentation today?
I did.
You did?
I didn't. I did not.
Who said that they saw it?
Me, Primo.
Oh. So, Primo, what did you think about it?
I think it's cool. I think it's interesting. The cinematics of it looks super, super good. But then once they got into the gameplay, it seems a little bit similar to the other the Ubisoft games. But if they made the I don't know if you can call it the storyline or the progress that you can make very, very interesting. You know what I mean? Where you start out with a little boat, and then you can move up to like rule the oceans or rule the seas. They definitely hyped it up so that It made the graphics. I mean, the graphics look good, but to me, I thought that the cinematics were gonna be the gameplay. But obviously, I'm new to the game, so it's definitely similar to a lot of Ubisoft games.
It looked challenging.
Yeah. It was gonna be complicated for sure. Lex.
Wow. Okay. Cool. Because I missed it. That one I did miss, so I'm gonna go back and check it out. I'm not a big pirates ship game. I didn't play Black Flag. That's not my cup of tea. But hey, if the game is good, I'll check it out. Suna, you didn't catch it, but were you anticipating this game at all? Were you happy to see that it's coming day and date to Stadia?
Oh yeah, I am happy to see it's coming. I just watched a little bit of it, and yeah, pirates aren't really my thing. So, yeah, this game probably won't be for me. But it is great to see it day and date. Cool.
You tried any pirate games?
Nah, I just I like laser swords and stuff. I don't really like pirates, so. Yeah.
What about laser pirates?
laser sword pirates with spaceships.
Spaceships. Oh, okay, Star Wars. Yeah.
Star Wars. Okay, yeah. Star Wars. Yeah, that'll be dope. Yeah. That's
laser pirates in space. That's Star Wars. Yeah.
Did you guys know that? Did you guys know that Star Wars is based off of the old Japanese movie Seven Samurai?
No.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. One of the top movies of the black and white era of Japan.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Yeah, I remember that movie. Yeah, because that in Lone Wolf and Cub, I grew up on that stuff, man.
Yep. Oh, yeah. So George Lucas got the idea for Star Wars from that movie.
Wow, that's crazy. Now you making me want to go back and watch it. I used to Hey, Premier, I used to torture people with them black and white movies because they're good. They're good though. I used to torture them with, oh man, you got to watch this movie, and I'd have the whole collection, the Lone Wolf and Cub and all of them, and they'd be like, dude, get out of here. But I love those movies. Yeah. Oh man. Okay.
Good stuff.
Interesting stuff. Okay.
So next time we watch Star Wars, maybe watch Seven Samurai. You see a lot of similarities.
Yes, I think I'm gonna have to do that, man. Definitely. So Lo-Fi, I'm gonna start off asking you this question first. I'm gonna go to you, then Primo, then we'll close out with Suna before we go to our next topic. What did you hear a lot about? Oh, all Stadia got AAA wise is Ubisoft, but when you look at the landscape of 2022. There ain't nobody else really putting out much. What does it say to you, Lo-Fi, that Ubisoft support continues as far as AAAs are concerned, but people continue to discount it?
I put it like you were saying that right now, who's really putting out AAAs right now? Facts. They I don't know. It was a little while back. I remember we all caught that article where they said they had to release. Well, how many games this year from Ubisoft? Like a couple hundred? It's like 200 or 400 games they were about to release.
Oh, Ubisoft.
Some crazy. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So it's like some crazy. I don't really know what the number was, but it was a big number. And yeah, man. I mean, who better to have on your team?
Exactly. Come on, bro. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's like saying your wide receivers is whack. All you got is what's dude's name that just got traded from the Chiefs? Jesus Christ, number 10. I forgot his name, but he's like the fastest wide receiver in the world. All you got is him, or your basketball team is trash. All you got is Michael Jordan or LeBron. You know what I mean? Like, okay, we may not be flustered with AAA games, but neither is the community so much this year. And the ones that we do have solidly are of the most productive ones of recent history. So I think we're in an okay space. I mean, if there was any time to have a lull with AAA games from anywhere else, I think this is a good year to have it. As long as you can pick it back up in 2023, well, I think people look back at 2022 and be like, we were crying over this. But go ahead.
Well, I'm just gonna say we know for sure they're bringing Skull and Bones. And I mean, I know they weren't into it, but like, dude, that shit is good. My bad. That's gonna be awesome.
Yep. We can't help it really slip every now and again. We can't. We get so excited about the platform. We can't help it. Let it slip every now. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that game. I think it's gonna be like once people really see the gameplay and see other people playing, they're gonna be like, oh, okay. Yeah, I gotta get in there because that PvP looked awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I caught a little bit of it. My wife was getting her license today, and I had to tag along for some reason. She was getting her license renewed. That's a whole other story. But at least I got to bite into her gyro sandwich. Anywho, so while she was in there, because I refused to go on a DMV, hell no. I was in the car trying to catch a little bit of it, and I did see when I tuned in, I did see that part of it, and it did look cool. So. Primo, what do you think about, man? Is Ubisoft support, does it not count? Is it really not that big of a deal? Or in a year like this, just across the board where there's not a lot AAA wise coming out, does it still give you a solid platform even if all you have is them?
So you ever listen to little kids play games? They play like cops and robbers, and they're like, "Oh, I got you. You're dead." No, you can't because I got a vest on and I'm
I fly in the sky. Exactly.
I know. I got you first. No, because I flew before you shot. I flew out of this place. That's what they're doing to me, in my opinion. By saying that Ubisoft, one of these huge developers, doesn't count. It's ridiculous. It's like how does that make any sense to you, anybody? You know what I mean?
It doesn't count because they're consistent.
Yeah, it doesn't count because they're too big. They're too big to fail. So it's like, come on, man. That's like you always put out. You always talk about how ridiculous some conversations get. I mean, who else is there? All the other ones are being bought out. So if that's your argument. If you're saying that, okay, Google needs to buy Ubisoft, okay, that's a legitimate argument. But to say they don't count because they're the only ones supporting cloud gaming, because it's a 2%, 3%, whatever the percentage is. Everybody else they don't see the investment, the return on investment as good as Ubisoft does. So I don't know. I think it's one of those arguments that is just better to ignore or troll. You know what I mean?
I agree. The haters ball is coming out and they're trying to score points.
I agree. Yeah. Oh yeah, the goalposts move so many times. Yeah. It's ridiculous. It's like it's constantly on wheels. And again, I mean, look, to your point, Primo, you said it perfectly. There are different type of gamers. I say this all the time. I've recognized that. I've entertained that. Like when I was growing up, I used to go to the arcades and like the tabletop gamers used to sit in front of the arcades and they would be playing their Dungeons and Dragons. I didn't slap their tables on my way in and say, "What the hell are you doing with those damn cards here? The only way to play is, to play games is standing up using coins." I didn't do that. I looked at them.
Board games are dead, bro.
Yeah. Board games, chop it in half. Like old dirty bastard on Shimmy Shimmy. Y'all just chop the table in half. I didn't do that. I just walked in and was like, "Oh, that's cool. They're doing that," And
somebody walks in with the rock collection. No, the rocks is where it's at.
Exactly. It starts stoning the Street Fighter 3 screens and stuff. Like, no, I didn't do that. We just wouldn't play because we understood that there are different types of gamers. There's something going on here, and this is what gets me riled up. I know I'm getting on my soapbox, and I promise I'm not going to do them. Let this panel speak because they're excellent. What gets me riled up is when these neo gamers come in. This is the only way that you can play games, or this is the only types of games that you like. Not like, where the hell did you come from? I've been gaming longer than you've been alive. Like, what are you talking about? This is the only type of stuff I'm supposed to like. So there are some people that want to play a lot of games. There are some people that know what they like and want to stick to what they like. And there's not a lot of people that want to play a lot of games within a specific amount of time. Doesn't make you any less than a gamer than someone else. So if somebody likes the Ubisoft games, if they're okay with their AAA offerings and whatever else Stadia is giving them, they can still want more and still be happy with what they're getting. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? But it just drives me crazy drives me up a wall where people say you can't be happy with that. You can be happy with something and say, yeah, I mean, over time I want better, but you can still be happy with what you're getting, even if somebody else across the street isn't.
I mean, in general, I think people these days just like picking teams. You know what I mean? Like there ain't no in between. True. It's like it's really life just isn't like that.
Yeah.
This is gonna get me in trouble, but to me, AAA game does not guarantee joy or quality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the production value might be higher. The production value might be higher. You might have more people involved and more money involved. But at the end of the day, the direction of the game and the playability of the game, you know what I mean? That's what determines. So a good example for me, I actually appreciate, just like the black and white movies that we just talked about, I actually appreciate independent movies more because you can see the passion in those, because somebody put way more passion into an independent movie or independent game than a studio can even afford to put, pay that person. You see what I'm saying? So I think, I get it, AAA, mainstream, big newsmakers, but really, when you start appreciating all games, to me, that's what makes you an actual gamer. When you appreciate the old 1970, 8-bit games all the way up to the, AAA bangers that are coming out now. You know what I mean? To me, that's what a gamer is. So I don't know why this whole emphasis on AAA games on Stadia when they're consistently dropping games every month.
Yeah. I agree with Lo-Fi. It's all teams. And I've seen it grow from that. Like we all used to give each other crap. Oh, I got the Genesis at home, and you ain't got the bloody version of such and such, but I do, And then, but we're all going to each other's house playing the same stuff anyway. Now,
I would get in arguments with people over the consoles, and then turn out they got all the consoles. They got all of them.
Exactly. Yeah, they got them all. They play them all equally. Yeah, it's just silly typing send crap on the internet. But I just that always does irk me, is that you don't want what I want. There's something wrong with you. No, the fact that you're focused so much on what I want opposed to you playing with you want somewhere else, that's a you problem. You know what I mean? So,
right. And like one thing I like to add to that. So I agree with all of y'all, and especially Primo, for saying that just because it's AAA, that doesn't mean that the enjoyment of the game is going to matter, because shout out to Purple Haze when she said this. She was like, there's a whole bunch of gamers out here, and sometimes even us in the cloud community, we just overlook the whole mobile gaming market, which is huger than all of these markets put together. And like, these people coming into cloud gaming are like people who have been who have been disenfranchised gamers. They may not like these AAA games because it may be too hard for them. So any kind of game coming to the platform, it just depends on what people like, and you can't really.
And that's another reason for indie developers to be here, because it's like you're a bigger fish in a smaller pond.
Yep. Agreed. Totally agree. So Suna, did I hear you right? Do you feel that the whole dismissiveness towards Ubisoft is silly? You know what I mean? Like, what are your thoughts on it? Do you think it's a fair argument to say all you got is Ubisoft when it comes to AAA games, or do you think that Ubisoft is providing a stable source for AAA games, and there's other games beyond AAA games that people get enjoyment from? What are your thoughts?
I agree with Lo-Fi, where it's just people picking teams, and honestly, there isn't really much AAA games coming out this year. So for Stadia to be going through this porting process, it actually worked out at the perfect time. Yeah, because next year there could be some actual stuff.
Yeah,
and you
want that in the pipeline.
I think there's gonna be like games that had recently released on other platforms that are just gonna pop on now, and it's like it's gonna just pour down games. All of a sudden.
I agree with that. So you're gonna see. Yep. I think that's what you're gonna see.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if next year we see Elden Ring or something. 'Cause that game is huge.
Yep.
I wouldn't be shocked.
I wouldn't be surprised either. Dying Light.
I ain't even got. If I had Elden Ring right now, I wouldn't have time to play it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be like. I'm glad they holding off on it. You know, if that's what's going on.
Yep. I got you. All right. Well, that's great stuff, y'all. So that's all about the Ubisoft support. You know what I mean? Like I agree with everybody on this panel. It shouldn't be dismissed. Number one, I get it that it's the main source of AAA stuff, but really, if you look at every platform, Ubisoft has been the main or of the main source of AAA games. You know, when you look at a singular source this year,
they're just early to the party.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. You know, and it's great that we can rely on them for, you know, AAA quality games or AAA presentate, you know, because to the point that was made on the panel, AAA doesn't always mean the best games. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, dude, one game we hadn't really talked about that was on the pro release is Those Who Remain. Man, shout out to Wire Productions, dude. Yeah, that game, I only played it once on stream, but it's really good. It's really good. Yeah, if you're into horror, it's cool.
Yeah, I've heard about that. You're not the first person I heard say that.
But I just wanted to make sure we mentioned that one because it definitely was a good game.
Yeah, the second time I got goosebumps, I ended the.
Oh, you had to change your trousers too, Primo. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
I did it with my wife on the stream. So like, we had a good time playing that one. We'll be back at it though.
That's dope stuff. Those are some of the best streams to see. You know, some of the best streams to watch. So yeah, definitely check it out. Check out Lo-Fi. Check out everybody doing it. Primo, Suna, everybody. You know what I mean? And definitely tag us here.
I stream that one again.
He said, if you watch me, you'll be watching something else.
I tweeted the developer. I'm only gonna play it again if I'm at the beach in the middle of the day, surrounded by people with
a whole bunch of light.
Yeah,
I can dig that.
Man.
I can dig that. Oh man! All right, y'all. Listen to the great discussion. Let's move on to the next topic. That is the Mexico expansion. You know how we do. Let me show you something.
People know that that's from Living Colors.
I know that.
Come on, Primo. You don't told the secret. You don't. That's the Fire Marshal Bill. Yeah. Let me show you something.
Yes.
You told the secret.
It takes me back, man.
See, I'm used to everybody being so young, you know what I mean, watching the show. They don't know because they think that PlayStation created gaming, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I gotta argue with so many of these silly young whippersnappers, so they don't know who Fire Marshal Bill is. Like, who? But
you're showing their age for sure.
Exactly, yeah. Bursted my bubble. All right, the cat's out the bag. Stadia Mexico territory expansion is coming. This is courtesy of Jack to Slip with a nice little video by moi. This is at StadiaDosage. We've advocated for a while now that the best thing for Google to do is to grow the platform, to show their commitment to it is to expand to new territories. We've shown why we believe that a significant reason for the growth of the platform in December 2020 was related to territory expansion. And that's an interesting point. I'm going to touch on that too while we're on this, because I did the show with Jack the Slip where we broke that news where a lot of people thought it was just purely cyberpunk. And Jack broke it, was like, no, we saw that growth in December after the expansion. It was an expansion to December 2020. So awesome stuff. I'm going to start with you, Suna. How big is this expansion for the platform?
Oh man, I think this is the biggest thing that they could have done as far as, building up it being a 1% business. Yep. I think it's huge. And me personally, I think it's possible that this is not the only country that we're going to see. I mean, we don't know, but me personally, I think it's possible that we're going to see some other countries with this. So, yep.
Awesome stuff. Lo-Fi, what do you think?
I'll be right back.
Okay, no problem, brother. Lo-Fi, what you think? What do you think about this expansion?
Well, I mean, I don't know about the company making money, but as far as the community growing,
yeah,
the two things, it's going to be games coming to the platform and this expansion. I mean, Mexico's not going to be the last place they expand to either. It's so this is going to be good for us as players too, because there's a lot of games where like games like 9 to 5, like that.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to benefit, like even on Destiny. There'll be more players in the pool to play with. So,
yeah,
I'm back.
Primo, what do you think? How big is this expansion for you for the platform?
Can I ask by asking who in chat plays PUBG Mobile? If any of you guys have a chance, just jump on PUBG Mobile. It sucks. You got to download it. It's got to update and all that. But if you play it, most of the people, like, you know how it shows you who killed who and it pops up with a little flag. And it seems like at least 60 to 70% is from Mexico.
Wow.
You know
wow. That's huge.
That's
crazy.
Wow. Because isn't PUBG Mobile like big in China too?
India, and China.
In India? Yeah. Oh, wow. That's huge.
Yeah.
To me, if Google does a good job explaining that it's free, without any of those, without any of those frustrating, putting your credit card, you know what I mean, you can play it on TV or PC. If they just specifically push the fact that you can play it on a phone, completely free, and then it's huge. But if they drop the ball, like I think they did here, when marketing it, the free portion of it, then I think it's gonna be a slow stutter, to the top. Yeah. But to me, it's huge. I mean, it's massive because I went to Mexico and I played Stadia over there, and I didn't have to use a VPN.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I didn't have to. But I'm from a small town, so the infrastructure was still kind of lacking. My mom didn't have Wi-Fi or internet, so I had to kind of steal the neighbors. And so I think I talked about it before. But the main thing is that you could have still played it, but I think like 90% of the games weren't launching. You know what I mean? So now that it's going to be officially supported, any of that frustration from clicking each and every icon and trying to get that game to launch is going to be gone.
Wow.
Key is going to be for Google to make sure everybody understands that it's a free platform with free games, with free demos, with free trials. If they can do that, then the money starts coming in when people get tired of the free games, that they want to buy games when they see it in the store. So I mean, I think it's huge, but obviously I'm biased because I'm going to retire in Mexico someday at some point.
Well, no.
So
yeah, that's how they're going to beat out the other platforms that are already over there, like that, explaining that it's
free. They get their own store. The microtransactions
over there, by the way. Xbox is king. So I think StadiaDosage is new, and I think MM2K, you pushed out a tweet, the Spanish content creators. And then I was trying to look for some more that I kind of follow here and there, so I can post their links and we can add them to the list.
Yeah, definitely.
That too. There's going to be new content creators.
Oh yeah,
that's going to be awesome.
The problem that I found yesterday going through scrubbing through some of the content creators is that the bigger content creators that cover games are on the bear side. Or I guess on the negative side of Stadia, even though they don't have access to it.
Yeah. Well,
ain't that something?
I imagine that's a lot of Xbox influence.
And I think because all they see is other content creators from the US or when the news comes in. And the only experience that they have is Xbox. I saw at least minimum 3 content creators that were basically complaining about same stuff, same talking points. You can tell that it came from one of these staters.
Yep. No, I agree.
And
I agree.
And so they didn't even use it. The benefit of that is that when you look through the comments, I mean, people were digging in, and it's like, wait, how you're supposed to be a news channel and you don't even have the right information.
Yep.
Well, at least there's a small community there using VPNs, or even some from Central and South America using VPNs that are really fighting back on all this misinformation, because that's all it is. It's misinformation.
Here's the thing to that, though. Xbox, I'm gonna say this. I got laughed at last year when I suggested that the Game Pass deal for Outriders had anything to do with Stadia. And I let people laugh. But here's the thing. Just like I've said in advance for many other things, I don't make this up. I know people that are close to certain resources. Like, I knew Outriders was coming to Xbox before the average Xbox person did. There's another source that I'm following right now in regards to Xbox that could be huge. But we'll get to that when the time is appropriate. So the reason why I brought all that up is Xbox is serious when they say that they are afraid of Stadia and they're afraid of Amazon. The average gamer right now can't see that because they only look at the first 5 minutes of now. What Microsoft is wisely doing is they're looking down the road. They're saying if the goal is to get to 1 billion gamers, who has the quickest access to that goal? And to use an American football term, Stadia is at the 5-yard line, and admittedly, Luna is at the 2-yard line. Why do I say that? Because of YouTube gaming and Twitch, right? And Xbox no longer has Mixer. That was a big blow to them. Gone. That was a big blow to them. So they got to manually go from this 300 million market, that's the console market, and now break through to 1 billion gamers. To where
that should have been a slam dunk.
YouTube and Twitch is already there. You know what I mean? Essentially, it's already there. So you're gonna see a lot of Xbox propaganda. They're gonna throw everything but the kitchen sink at Stadia and Luna. Luna's kind of like keeping a low profile, which is smart in many ways because I don't think they want to make ripples until like they're ready to burst out the seams to avoid a lot of that ire. But you're going to see a lot of Xbox rhetoric, and I can't blame them because all's fear and love and war. They know what they're doing, and they know that Stadia is going to expand. They know that you foolishly believe that they were wrapping up shop. They know that you foolishly believe that they weren't going to do anything else, but they know better. Xbox knows better. So they're planting the seeds wherever they can to put their propaganda out against Stadia and Luna when the time presents itself, to make sure that they can stifle their growth as much as they can until they can get to the 1 billion gamers first. You know what I mean? So it's just a matter of continuing to educate and all that other stuff. But, you know, it's interesting dynamic to see.
And then let's not forget that Facebook is trying to jump in the game too. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're low key about it too, but they have the Quest. They just bought up Creata. They have the whole metaverse kind of theory or mission going on. You know what I mean? So I think they're still part of it. I don't know. It depends on how long it takes them to get there, but and I think also at some point Microsoft is going to buy out some kind of streaming service. I mean, they got it, right?
I'm thinking that they buy out Shadow. I'm thinking that would probably be their smartest move if they buy out Shadow. If they buy out Shadow, then that changes everything. And just, you know, look, they're planning to make Windows version of all their games anyway. You know, just use the Windows version via Shadow.
I mean, a content creator streaming like Twitch and YouTube and Facebook. I think at some point, even though they didn't make it with Mixer, I don't know. Maybe they
try something else
flag around, but I think at some point they're going to try to get into the content creation aspect of gaming.
Can I admit something to you guys? I like Mixer. I liked it more than all. Mixer was dope. Like, we used to hold E3 conference, and what Mixer allowed us to do is turn our Mixer channel into a TV channel. Like, you could watch. We would show like old E3 footage on one channel, and then we would go live on another Mixer channel. It was like, it's hard to explain, but the setup, the things that you could do with Mixer was so dope. I wish they could have kept that around, but unfortunately, it wasn't sustainable. So, But
I mean, they still got Bing.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
So, you never know.
Oh, before you say that, hold on. Let me pay this bill real quick. Shout out to 1030 Media, celebrating 12 months of membership. He says, "Keep up the great work, everyone. I appreciate you, good brother. Thank you so much." I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I was just saying, one thing too. I really hope like a lot of people aren't hoping that like Stadia is gonna jump from like a 7% market or something crazy like that because of this expansion. Like it's still gonna take a long time, y'all. Like it is gonna help, but it's still gonna be a slow ride, and we're still gonna have times where so just don't expect it to be super crazy for Stadia. Like it's gonna help, but it's still gonna be a slow ride. It's still gonna be years and years of just cloud gaming growing. So just expect that.
No,
like
I
when
totally
MM2K
agree.
talks about I like when you talk about precedence. Because it's so huge, man. I mean, if you just look at the numbers, that tells you a lot. And I think that's what Purple Haze kind of focuses on a lot.
Yep.
But, say that to say if the initial launch up to now we've been accessible to 861 million, and now you're adding another 130 or whatever.
Yep.
Look at the numbers. You know what I mean? If at 861 million, we got let's say 800,000. To keep the math easy, let's say 860,000 active users.
Yep.
You add another 130. You just got to keep that math tight and together.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it's going to be the same little hustle.
Yep. That's what you're hoping. It's just, I think I've looked at numbers. I've seen a lot of numbers over time. And I think Stadia's biggest issue was containment. Like they'll get a big fluster of people that come through. Like they'll go up 1,700%, and they don't maintain those people. So I think what Stadia needs to do is to what Primo says, like you gotta hammer the stuff in. I get it's the early years, but you gotta sow those oats. You gotta plant those seeds. You know what I'm saying? And it's important to do that. Let people know, like Primo said, it's free. Because eventually, over time, people will be like, well, you know what? I did save up a little bit of cash, so let me go buy Resident Evil. You know what I mean? Or let me go buy this, or let me go buy Division 2, or $14.99. Okay, I'll invest in Ubisoft Plus. You know what I mean?
Cheap as I am, I got like $1,300 into Stadia.
Wow.
Even though I only wanted to play it for the 2 free months.
Yeah. That worked out well.
Yeah, I actually canceled it the same day that I signed up for it. And a couple of days before it expired, I re-signed up, and $1,300 later, you know what I mean? Here
wow. That's crazy.
It gets you like that too. Yeah.
That's the wonders of cloud gaming, and especially one that's stable and consistent and reliable like Stadia. They tell you.
Yeah, and how
do you say that, Primo?
That
crimen in the cloud. How do you say that?
I think it's crimen in the cloud. Crimen en la nube. Crimen en la nube. It means crime, like the way he spelled it. It's a little, it's kind of spelled, but it means like crimes going on in the cloud.
Oh, okay.
I'm assuming he means they're stealing all the gamers from consoles. I don't know.
Gotcha.
I mean, I like there's just something about Stadia, man. Like, I mean, Stadia is still like the most talked about cloud platform. And to me, they're probably making the most money because they got their own store. And compared to like every other cloud platform that's available in like 3 times as many countries, they're not getting talked about as much. Like it's just something about Stadia. They just got the whole package to me. Like I play on other platforms too, and I still Stadia is still number one. I got a 3080 tier. Stadia is still number one. It's crazy.
Yep.
I can guarantee you that if Stadia wasn't free, I wouldn't have been playing it. Same reason I'm not signed up to GFN or Luna or all those other services. They got me, man.
And that's the thing. And Primo, I'm glad you bring that up because I get into, and I love people like David Jaffe, the creator of God of War. Shout out to him. I love Dave, but I always got to give him a hard time. I always got to piss in his cornflakes when he goes and he hits the airwaves and he says silly stuff like, I don't get Stadia's business model. You know how he gets all riled up and stuff. And I'm like, look, Dave, stop it. It's the atypical plug and play business model where it gives you a little bit of everything. There's people like Primo who don't want to spend hundreds of dollars for a console that he's going to have to upgrade in 2 years anyway. Or he doesn't want to wait in line and keep fighting bots on Walmart to get a console at launch. He goes to Stadia.com and he got his platform. Well, if you put it that way, MM, I guess that you're, yeah. So, I mean, so you got to, like right now, it's only 1% of us that fit into that box. But that's because the other 99% either aren't aware or they have ignorant notions to the capabilities of cloud gaming. That's not going to remain. As time persists on, people are going to look at cloud platforms on a general level as a viable place to buy and own games, not just subscription services. So people just got to keep that in mind. And there's gamers like that right now. If there weren't enough gamers like that right now, trust me, these platforms wouldn't be out here. They realized in 2019 or 2020, whenever they came out, that there's enough gamers that would buy games a la carte or be involved in cloud gaming. So hence they put their platforms out there. You know what I mean? So interesting dynamics out there. And sometimes it's just funny to hear the complaints that people make opposed to the reality of things. Cool stuff. All right, I think we can go to the next topic, which is Outriders has been fixed. Now, this is going to be a quick one. You know how we do. Let me show you something. I couldn't get it queued up in enough time, but let me see if I can find it. I know, I screwed. I jacked that one all up. Where's the Sandman to pull me off the stage? All right. So Outriders 1.2 now out on Stadia crossplay returns. Okay, I'm not gonna go to Stadia.com StadiaDosage.com rather, and to read that article. I'm not gonna get into all that. Here's what I want to ask the panel. This is tough love time. Well, first off, has anyone played the World Slayer expansion?
I didn't play the expansion, but I was doing a first look on the game the day that they came out with the expansion, and it was not a good day.
Was it? Oh wow. Okay. Interesting. See, I played it after. I played like a day or two after. It was okay. Excuse me. I was playing
the game
with.
Never even loaded up.
Oh wow! Holy cow! Now, to your point, Lo-Fi, it was a little choppy. It was a little. I thought it was Stadia, but no, it sounds like it was the damn service. Or I thought it was just Stadia that particular day, or my connection, or whatever. But it could have just been the game, or who else knows.
I was stuck in. What was it? You were there, Primo. It was like a little, like some weird screen with floating ice. I don't know. Yeah, it was just stuck there forever.
I think I saw a tweet with the Outriders people saying that it was their servers and they shouldn't have any more problems after a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I ended up just hanging out talking to chat for like 30 minutes. Staring at that.
Oh, that's crazy.
Dang.
All right, so that was tough love time. Tough love time. I'm gonna ask Suna first, because Suna was there. Suna, you got Outriders at launch on Stadia, right?
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, but you were one of the people that, with me, we were trying to figure out ways. We weren't trying to make an excuse for it. We were just trying to figure out ways to get it to play better. You know what I'm saying? For people that had it, right? On Stadia. Yeah. You had some suggestions. I had some suggestions as well. But we were promised, shout out to the homie Doral Smock Jr. of PNTS and StadiaDosage on our show last week. He said, look, man, Square Enix just keeps breaking promises to us, man. They told us this would never happen again, and here it happened again with the next expansion. So I'm going to ask you first, Suna, how do you feel about this happening again, that at the launch of the expansion, the crossplay wasn't working, things were a little wonky? Are you reassured? I'll put it like this. What best describes how you feel? Are you reassured that it got fixed so soon this time around, or are you more disappointed that the promise was broken again?
Um, I'm not disappointed because now, like, I mean, I kind of know what it is now. You know, it kind of is what it is. But
Square
I will.
Enix. No, sorry. I'm sorry
Yeah.
about that. Had a lump in my throat. Sorry. Go ahead.
But but at the same time too, I do understand how hard it is to like just program stuff and patches and updates and stuff. So I kind of get it, but at the same time, you know, it is messed up. Like if there is going to be a delay with the Stadia version, then just tweet it out or something, or say, you know, they are working on it. They're trying to work on the other platforms first, and then you know, patch 1.2 or whatever it was will be there. You know, just kind of give us a update. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not even shocked anymore. I'm just kind of accepting it. You know,
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah, I got you. Lo-Fi, what do you think about this, man? Are you what best describes how you feel? Are you disappointed that they broke the promise again, or are you excited that it didn't take this long, or is there another feeling that you're closer to?
I'm just glad they were able to fix. It really didn't take that long for them to fix, so I was just cool with that.
Okay,
to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, have you played it afterwards? Or
yeah, I did. And I mean, for me, it's like, dude, that was a big launch day. I know things just happen. You know, you can't. There's just Murphy's Law. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Oh. I can dig it. Primo, what are your thoughts, brother? Or what best describes how you feel about the World Slayer hiccups on Stadia?
Yeah, I would like that game. I haven't gotten into it because I keep rage quitting that too much. You're gonna notice a pattern here.
Yeah,
but I guess it would be if I put myself in somebody who's waiting for it and wanted to play it. I can see how frustrating that might be and how they might want to voice out their opinion on Twitter and go off and stuff. Personally, if it didn't work for me, I would have just switched, just kind of like a Lo-Fi, just switch to another game or just find something else to do. So I can kind of I don't want to say it's okay because it's not okay. You know what I mean? With the whole if people are paying for the same content that it's available in other platforms, we should have the same service, which it looked like for a little while everybody was having trouble with it. So at least you can say that. Right. But it seems like previously it was a lot of Stadia stuff. So I don't know. It's good that we can voice our opinion out and let them know that it's not okay. But at the same time, if you let it stress you out, then I don't know how much is that worth your health.
Right.
True.
Yeah.
True. Me, I wasn't, because it's not like that World Slayer was the only game on Stadia that was worth playing. Right. So I'm with you guys there. It just underscores to me though that Jesus Christ, Square Enix don't give two monkey rats dongs about Stadia. They did a little bit better this time, but it seems like that the company that kind of has the most problems with Stadia is Square Enix. And I always get heartburn just thinking about Square Enix when they dropped Outriders, right before they dropped Outriders. This is how it's gonna look on Stadia. It's like they were teasing us. This is how it's gonna look on Stadia. Look at these screenshots. Oh man. Then they went on a world tour with them, like they just won the championship or the NBA finals or something like that. Went on a world tour with Stadia, going to different outlets, talking about the greatness of cloud gaming. It just seemed like that Stadia was going to ascend. And then the game released. and then it took them 7 months to fix it?
I think it was a year, man. I think it was a whole year. I don't know.
It came out in March, right? March or May, and then they didn't fix it until December. So, yeah, it took it felt like a damn year. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that before. So again, it's a shame because Square Enix games are good games. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's a fun game too.
Exactly. It's a fun game. And don't get me wrong, like I played it again recently. The hiccups that I had that time that I was playing with Squid, they're gone. But it's just like, damn, Square Enix. It's better this time, but Now, hopefully they'll be able
to be fair to them. To be fair to them, it is a new platform, and I'm sure they had to like jump through some hoops to just get it ported and get it working and stuff. So especially, I think they have like Stream Connect and all that. So I give them that. I give them a little bit of a leeway with that, but at the same time, money's being paid. So
yeah. No, that is true, and I agree with both sentiments. Yeah, that is true.
Wow. Yeah, and you know what though, Google, if you guys are listening, please get them the load change board. Get them that thing. I don't know, like if they don't have it, please like put them on the list next or something, because it really do seem like
break into their studio and install it even without their permission. You know what I'm saying? If it's a box, if the low charge change porting is a box or a modem or whatever the hell it is, just install it. Just crash to a window like 007 and install it. Yeah, geez, they
get Purple Haze. Get Purple Haze to jump into the office and
get Purple Haze to do it. Yeah,
CIA style.
Ride the super glitch into the Square Enix's offices, and install it. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do, man. Yeah, they need it. If there's any company that needs it, they need it. You know what I mean? So, but we got the game still. Too. Would you say that again?
Take-Two too.
Yeah. See, that's an interesting dynamic. Let's close out with that. Let's talk about Take-Two, because we found out today, like I said earlier when I was talking to you, Suna, that we 2K23 isn't coming at launch. Something's going on. I don't think that Take-Two has given up on Stadia, but there's something going on. What do you think it might be?
I think they're just waiting on the porting until it's like good, where they can just put out where the game is optimized and all that. Because last year we had the investor call, and then this year we had the investor call, and then there's been leaks from like a credible GTA person that GTA was coming. So I do still think that I think all of these companies will come back, but me personally, I really feel like Take-Two will be coming back. They're just waiting on that porting.
Yeah,
that's just what I think personally.
Any other thoughts on that, Primo or Lo-Fi? Any other thoughts on what Take-Two might do or what's going on with them in Stadia?
I'm not really interested in sports games as much.
Yeah,
I have some of their games, but like I said, man, if they put a game in front of me, I'll try it. If I like it, I'll stick to it. If not, then I'll move on to the next one.
Yeah. What about you, Lo-Fi?
Yeah, I feel the same way. I'm not really into sports.
Yeah, they're still supporting Borderlands 3, so I'm happy with that. I would like to see Tiny Tina's Wonderland. I'm not. Yeah.
See, you know what? And that is another interesting one, because that one had a Stadia logo. So it was kind of like,
it did?
Did they have that plan? Yeah. When it first got announced, that had a Stadia logo, but it's not on the platform.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like, so it's kind of like, are they, I feel like they're kind of waiting it out. I mean, we don't know, but that game actually had a Stadia logo, and everyone was like, oh, well, is this coming to Stadia? This is like after 2K22 didn't come. Like, this is probably December last year or something.
Okay.
Had the Stadia logo.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's interesting that late in the game in December that they had it. So maybe there was some last minute things happening. Okay. That's enlightening. Yeah, I think I think there's some things here that we're seeing that definitely shows. Well, excuse me. Whoa, excuse the pig. I think we can ignore the argument that Stadia is winding down retail. I think that's been debunked with the Mexico move. You know what I mean? And a lot of us that kind of, we're talking behind the scenes and just looking at those arguments being thrown out was just like watching our watch and like, okay, well, when the time comes and, the info comes out, we're going to see the reaction. We were just, just like, okay, whatever. But, granted, there's more. That being said,
Wasn't there a point? Sorry about that. Sorry. Wasn't there a point where 2K and a bunch of other publishers took out their games from GFN and then they all went back?
Not all of them. Take-Two isn't. Like two. Yeah, but what you're starting to see EA bring back their back catalog, which is still cool, which is still dope. Yeah. You know, EA brought back their back catalog. Square Enix came back. Yep. So, you know, yeah, you're starting to see. I mean, like, shout out to Sunny Cloud Gaming. You know what I mean? My brother's connected. He told you that all of these platforms have their woes and their own unique woes. You know, because again, they're 1% businesses. It's just for the sake of GFN and xCloud or whoever else, the porting isn't as involved. Excuse me, isn't as involved. And once Stadia gets there, then you're going to see games come over more frequently, I believe. And with that, you know, we've already seen it in Netcode that had Dying Light 2 in it. We've already seen it with Saints Row, almost all but confirmed for the platform and almost confirmed day and date. We'll see about that. We've seen that with now Tiny Tina's Wonderland. We see little things here and there that just suggest that something is brewing behind the scenes, and it's just a matter of not yet. You know what I mean? But I'm not against people, Primo, Suna, and Lo-Fi, saying, well, I want these games. I want these games, and even if you say I want them now, you know, I'm not against that. Just don't use that to say that they're winding down, because it's not the case. But let them know what you want, and let them know what you want with fervor, because that actually helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it respectfully too, so that way they you know, that way they'll just listen to you.
Yeah, well, they actually pay attention to what you're saying.
Yeah,
exactly.
People think, when I say that, people think, oh, you just want us to be nice to Stadia because, you know, you want them to I don't, you know, come and, I don't give you an intern ship or something like that. No, I'm telling you from a Fortune 500 experience, when you're going through complaints, when someone is belligerent, guess where that goes? In the trash. Goes in the trash.
Yeah.
Unless the majority of the people are belligerent and it makes news and it's like a catastrophic thing, these one-off belligerent, you mother, it goes in the trash. Because they're like, you're talking to us over our product that we own, and you're coming at us like this. You're not in a feasible mind state to where we even need to entertain this. Crumple, trash. I'm letting you know. So it's better. I mean, you can display your anger like I'm furious and I'll pull my money out. You know, you can do stuff like that, but all the belligerent stuff, it's not helping you at all. But you can let them know with fervor. Yep. I'm sorry. Go ahead and say that again.
I said, bring receipts too. Bring have a graph in hand. You know what I mean? So it's not just somebody screaming at the wind, but you're actually, you know, being constructive with the criticism, and you're trying to, you know, resolve a situation, not just, you know, fume the flames or something, you know, or whatever the word saying is.
Yeah.
Take a picture of your wallet. Take a picture of your wallet and say, you see this? I won't spend this towards your product anymore.
Yeah. And I think people love the platform so much, and they love the idea of the like potential that they just go insane,
they want it now.
And then they make all these claims, and then they're like, okay, I'm done with Stadia, but they're still looking to see what Stadia does. And it's like, we got to remember, you know, this is going to be a slow burn for cloud gaming. So you can't just, you know, if you need every single game, it's all right to go to GFN and or play on Luna or all these other things, because they all got pros and cons. It's like, you can't really, you got to understand that. And a lot of people, they just love Stadia so much. That's what Stadia does.
That's what it is. It is. And I get where it comes from. The problem is just You can't always get what you want. Like people you gotta deal with disappointment and patience. And gamers just nowadays have a hard time doing that. The argument that I hear a lot is, well, I could only afford one platform. Okay. Well, leave Stadia and go to GFN. That's too expensive. Leave Stadia and go to xCloud. Oh, it doesn't work well enough for me. Okay, you go to GFN leave Stadia and go to Amazon Luna. Well, they don't have 4K yet. Okay, well, it sounds like that Stadia with its flaws, like everybody else, if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't be playing anything. So
yeah, right.
So there we have it. There has to be balance somewhere in the universe. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Interesting stuff about it. Okay, look, can I do this, gentlemen? After the raffle, can I just borrow you just for 10 more minutes? I want to talk about something. You know what? No. I'm sorry, guys, because now that I think about it, because I promised my wife I'd do something with her, we can't do it. So we're not going to have an after show today. I apologize, but members, I'm going to make it up to you. We'll have an after show. Maybe I can get these gentlemen back together some other time, and we'll talk about E3, and we'll talk about God of War. I want to talk about God of War, but I can't do it today. So let's do this. We're now going to have the raffle. I know I played with everybody's emotions, and I waited until the very end of the show. And most of you stayed. Most of you stayed and you liked. Again, I'm giving you one last second. Well, no, we're going to do this. Let's go through. You got like 5 minutes left before you have to put in the code for the raffle, which is !raffle. Once you do that, well, once we go through these closings, then you're not going to have a chance. We're just going to pick the winner. All right. So we're going to start with Lo-Fi Monk. Mr. Lo-Fi Monk, can you let people know where they can find you at?
Oh, yeah. You can find me at youtube.com/Lo-Fi Monk. And on Cloudy Thoughts Fridays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And this Friday, I'm going to be chilling with Purple Haze.
Woo!
And the rest with Bray and everybody's in the chat. So come and hang out.
Awesome. That's Purple, I get back on the show. We got to ask you the super glitch method. We got to ask you about your super glitch methodology. How do you do this? How did you get 25 billion points on the Atari Centipede game? How did you do that?
She got the purple skills.
Server.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. How many servers did you hack? We just want to ask you simple questions like that.
The servers in the house.
All right, my homies
end up on a newsflash.
Exactly. Nothing incriminating. You ain't got to tell it. You know, it's just you, us, and the rest of the world. You know, Soda. Let the good people know where they can find you at.
All right. So on Twitter, you guys can find me at bibbity_bop_ and then on YouTube, y'all can find me at just Suna or Suna Live or Suna FPS. There's a lot of different Sunas. I got a problem. But on my YouTube channel, I just do live streams and then I do videos just talking about my opinions on things going on with Stadia. So if you guys like the sound of that, go ahead and check that out.
Awesome stuff. All right, and last but certainly not least, my brother Primo Yannick. Primo, let the good people know where they can find you at.
Yeah, so you can find me trolling people on Twitter with Primo Yoni. With Primo Yoni, same YouTube channel. So that's my English channel, and I have a lot of streams. I have a Friday show now, thanks to MM2K. So we can try to find breaking news. Last week we found the PC World article.
Awesome,
fresh out the oven. So that was pretty cool. And then, in anticipation of expansion to Latin America, I started a Spanish YouTube channel back in January. That's Nube Stadia. I think they have a post on StadiaDosage with all the Spanish-speaking channels. But if you can't find it, it's featured in my channels with all the other Stadia content creators, or you can check that out. And yeah, that's me. I am going to be gone for military training for about a month and a half. I'll have videos drop.
Oh, okay,
every day, and and then hopefully I can join some chats when I have the time.
Oh, we're gonna miss you, man. When's that gonna start?
So July 15th to August 25th.
Oh, I got you, brother. All right. Well, you know me, MM2K, PNTS Network, StadiaDosage.com. You can also check us out, Stadia Dosage, on Twitch. We got it's called Stadia Dosage Plus, where I do this show called Stadia Toast and Tea. I don't know where the hell I came up with. I just come up with the craziest titles. Something's wrong. I'm gonna get a CAT scan one of these days. But Stadia Toast and Tea, you can check that out on Twitter. I'm just thinking about it now. That's just the craziest ass title. And we also got streams, Outriders, Division 2, you name it there. And also I got my own channel. We're gonna be doing some stuff there too soon. So with that said, thank you folks, but we're gonna do the raffle right now. Thank you for hanging by with 2 minutes left. Let's pick the winner. All right, hold on. I got to do this. So now we got to close entries. The entries are closed. They're closed. And now let's pick the winner. And the winner is Stadia Gameplay, Android TV.info. Golly, say that fast 5 times. Wow. Stadia Gameplay.
Yo, GG.
Jesus Christ. I almost lost my voice trying to say that name. No, shout out to you, Stadia Gameplay. Congratulations. Shout out to you. Wow. And what you want to do is reach out to me at MM2K on Twitter or the MM2K@gmail.com. Send me a message and we'll be able to validate that you are who you are and get your money out to you. But thank you very much, friend. Appreciate you. All right. With that said, that's it for the show. This was a hell of a panel. Hit that like button, man. I told you I was bringing the new guns. They shot everything up. This is a hell of a panel, man. You can't beat that. Jesus Christ, we're bringing these guys. They're going to be long-term members. Man. They just don't know it yet. We got to just throw them in a Scooby-Doo van and park it somewhere until next week. You know what I'm saying? But with that said, Stadia, more games for streaming. Yes, Stadia Gameplay. Hit me up on Twitter, Stadia Gameplay, so I can get, or email me, so I can get you your gift. But appreciate you, good brothers and sisters. Until next time, have a wonderful gaming day. Peace.
Dope.
That is a Spanish creator.